Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dee, welcome if you're new. In today's video, I want to talk about a concept called empathy fatigue. We're being told that there is a new variant of COVID virus called Omicron that is taking over the entire world, and it looks like that most countries are going to go through another round of shutdown. And along with that, we're also suffering from supply chain shortages and just labor shortages in general, as if this year hasn't been enough. These two past years haven't been enough. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are feeling this emotion of being overwhelmed, tired, and just want it to stop. Me, myself included. That's why I've been scrolling through the internet to find what this is all about, what is this emotion that we're feeling called, and what is the symptoms, along with solutions for us to feel a little bit better. And I found this article on the website Cleveland Clinic called Empathy Fatigue: How Stress and Trauma Can Take a Toll on You. This article was published a little bit earlier this year in June, but I think it's still very, very much relevant to us today, because it also talked about how the global pandemic, political battles, and all of the other good stuff have been just kind of affecting us mentally. And I feel like a lot of the symptoms that are listed on this article, in this article, are very accurate. So the psychologist Susan Albers have explained what is empathy fatigue exactly. So at worst, empathy fatigue is a person's inability to care. It's the negative consequence of repeated exposure to stressful or traumatic events. It can manifest both emotionally or physically. Oh my God. Isn't that true? So for those of you who are following the news, we've been put through this vicarious experience of other sufferings over and over again. Every day there's reports on how many people just died from COVID, and how many more victims are created by the riots, by all the so-called injustice, or just anything that's negative. Just everything that's negative has been thrown at us nonstop. Every day when we wake up, there's a new tragedy happening somewhere. There's a new massacre, this and that. And at this point, I feel that a lot of people are becoming gradually more and more numb to a lot of the traumatic events that were presented by the news. So I want to just first read out the emotional symptoms of being empathy fatigue. So the first one is isolating yourself from others and feeling numb or disconnected, lack of energy to care about other things around you, feeling overwhelmed, powerless, or hopeless. Oh, this one I feel in particular because we're watching the news, the politics, the pandemic, and we feel like we're not able to do anything in response to all of the things that keep our emotions riled up, and we feel just hopeless because there seems to not be any solution to all of the problems that we're seeing in the society, in the world. So this is definitely true to me, and I believe to a lot of people. And the next one is not being able to relate to others anymore. And the next one is feeling angry, sad, or depressed. Very naturally, because we don't know what we can do to help, and all we can do is to listen and see all the tragedies happening without us being able to put in actions and change anything. And the next one, obsessive thoughts about the suffering of others. This might look in contrary to one symptom previously, not being able to relate to others, but it actually makes sense because you are thinking too much about it to the point that you simply cannot feel it. You become numb to it, and you feel very agitated and like just tense, not being able to articulate exactly what you are thinking. It's just really frustrating. And then also there's the self-blame because you feel like you're at fault all constantly for the bad things that are happening to others, even though you have no business in this, realistically speaking. And then the physical symptoms can include inability to concentrate, be productive, or complete daily tasks. This might be a result of just physical fatigue coming from your depression or just constant worrying about other things. And then you might have headaches and nausea or upset stomach, difficulty sleeping, or constant racing thoughts. This I do suffer a lot. Sometimes I would think so much that I would find it difficult to fall asleep. And consequently, on the second day, I would feel just really tired and not being able to concentrate, not being able to do my tasks well. It's just such a tiring feeling. And then there's conflict in your relationships because, again, when you are occupying your mind with all of these horrible things that realistically are not happening to you personally, I know how horrible it is for others to go through that, but you are living it vicariously and forcing it onto people that are surrounding you, people that you love. I can say I'm very guilty of this. I have been talking about a lot of this with Sean, and then it's just not really productive sometimes, a lot of times. And then avoiding work or other activities, feeling exhausted all the time. Yeah, these are all very true. And we have all been feeling that burnout at the end of the year. So this empathy fatigue is the emotional and physical exhaustion that happens from caring for people day after day after day, explains Dr. Albert. Over time, we start to see people experiencing a sense of numbness and distancing or difficulty continuing to care. Yes, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to continue to put in precaution for the virus to prevent the virus, but realistically speaking, I'm becoming so numb to the new just variant, how scary the virus has become because enough is enough, truly. People are just tired. They just want to live their life. And so far, this is our new normal now. We're constantly put on edge by all the news, all the new regulations, procedures. It's so much things to take in. And a lot of us are also suffering from financial losses from the pandemic and then being separated from our families and friends, especially for the international communities, such as myself and other international students who are unable to travel to see their family. I haven't seen my parents for over 2 years, and now we're talking about pushing 2.5 years. So it's been very difficult for me. And then my friends back home are unable to see me in person because of it. So there's a disconnect with people that you care about. And then you're also surrounded by just kind of hostility from the media, the social, and also for people who are still using social media, it has become extremely political and it's just not good for and just kind of toxic in general. So it's not good for your mental health either. That's why I'm really glad that I quit social media, and I would advise anybody who is suffering from this toxic comparison or toxic social media environment to quit it as well, even for just a little bit. You will find a significant improvement in your mood and also in your stress level. So that's one thing I would suggest personally. So let's quickly scroll down. I won't read through other things included in the article because of time constraint, but let me just go to the final paragraph, treating and moving through empathy fatigue. So in this part, Dr. Albers listed out 3 things that you can do to help you feel better, to improve and move through your empathy fatigue. The first one is awareness. So it's very important to acknowledge how you're feeling and to show yourself some self-compassion. So far you have been using up every last drop of your empathy and compassion for other people. And now probably it's time to kind of pull back and look at yourself and kind of just split some of that compassion to yourself, maybe a little bit more generously, because you will need it. And oftentimes we are so busy, we don't pay attention to how we are really feeling, or we're so quick to feel an emotion that we try to push it away as soon as it starts. It almost feels like we don't deserve the level of compassion that we share with others, we give to others. And it's very common for people that are empaths, people who care. And this might also backfire. So again, it's time to maybe share some of that self-compassion to your own mental state, to your own self-well-being. And then next one is balance. So how much balance do you currently have in your life? Not only with your work and home life, but also with watching the news, scrolling through social media, or obsessing over bad news. All right, so this one, I already covered the social media portion. Also, I want to add in that at the end of the year or during holiday season, especially this is true for people who are still single, who are struggling to date, and who are away from family, home. It's very easy to compare your current situation to people you see on social media and then think less of yourself simply because of things you can't control, and that's not fair to yourself. So quit social media for that as well. And then also about bad news. It's truly because bad attention is always good attention for all media. It has been the most effective just kind of media strategy for probably as long as it has existed. And that's why people working in the media, major media outlets, even on YouTube, they know kind of clickbaity or just negative titles, negative content gets the most view. That's why they constantly pump out the bad news. Because if you, for example, we all love watching just train wrecks of people on reality TV shows. For example, people who are bad with their money, people who are bad with their relationship. We don't want to see people who have their shit together, good with their finances all the time. We don't want to see that. We want to see people who splurge on on bad choices and then judge them for it. So the same with news. That's why we got to be careful with the amount of news that we're consuming. And again, I'm talking to myself about this as well. I'm going to try to just focus more on my hobbies. For example, filming videos, finding articles that actually helps me make sense of a lot of things, and then just kind of share it with you guys rather than paying too much attention on just bad news and also just the societal problems in general. I mean, I've been thinking about it for the entire year. So probably for the last month of 2021, it's time to just let ourselves chill for a little bit. We are allowed to chill just for 1/12 of the lifetime of the year. All right, and then next one, the final one is connection. In a world filled with social and physical distancing, which is true, it can be tough to feel connected to others right now. Exactly, it's so hard. I've been hearing from my friends and relatives that it's so hard to date, to make friends, especially as adults nowadays, living in this virtual world, this world of distancing. And that's why feeling connected can be so healing to those experiencing empathy fatigue, says Dr. Albers. This is very true. So I would encourage you to pick up your phone to call your parents, your siblings, if you have them, and then try to take the initiative to reach out to your friends. And everybody is shy by default, by nature. So people who you haven't had in contact with might not reach out to you because they don't want you, they don't like you, but because they are waiting for you to reach out to them. And everybody's kind of lonely today, so just reach out to people and then connect with them, talk to them. Don't just like their posts on social media. Quit that shit. Just call them. And then if you can, physically meet up with them with safety procedures, and then just have some real life interactions with people you care about that are also caring about you. So this is a great way to heal, and I would say a healthy relationship, whether it be with family, friends, or lovers, is just the key to healing. And that's pretty much all about this article and my thoughts on this topic. If you are also feeling and struggling with empathy fatigue, or after this article you have some new thoughts that you want to share with me, please leave a comment below, and I look forward to talking with you more. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.